life as a man is far more difficult than life as a woman. And one of the key components of manhood always has been and always will be, we have the ability to control ourselves and not act emotionally. Females are more emotionally driven, more emotionally impulsive than a good man should be. Saying that I felt like crying so I cried, this makes me a real man, is as stupid as me saying, well, I felt like smashing his face in, so I smashed his face in. This makes me a real man. No, the hallmark of a real man is controlling himself, controlling his emotions, and acting appropriately regardless of how he feels. And throughout human history, this is exactly how men had to live their lives. Do you think that the teenagers storming the beaches of Normandy felt like crying? Of course they did. But they also knew that that wasn't the correct thing for them to do. They had a duty to commit to, they had honor, and they did what they were supposed to do regardless of how they felt. That is the mark of a man. Weakness and absolute submission to your feelings are not the hallmarks of men. It's not the way society has ever been built. It's never been built off the backs of men who were crying their eyes out because they felt like crying. The only kind of men who advocate crying are the kind of men who do not have enough self-control to prevent themselves from crying. Because we're all human. There's times in your life that as a man, you're going to feel like crying. It's going to happen. But what you're supposed to do is not cry. Because this is a test in mental fortitude. And there is no physical fortitude, there's no financial fortitude, there's no other type of fortitude without mental fortitude. So when you feel like crying, you ensure you do not cry, and you act appropriately as a man should. The men who say no succumb instantly to your emotions, the kind of people who have no self-control. You look at people like me, and I say, Ross. And that's a big G. He's out there, loves Lambos, multi-millionaire, self-made, 6'4", 4 times kickboxing world champion, chess genius. I don't like the way he's living his life because he's kicking too much ass. You need to cry more. He's trying to drag me down to his level so I can be a little crybaby like him. And he wants everyone else who reads his tweets to be a crybaby too, because the more little weaklings he can create, the less bad he'll feel about himself. No man wants to be a little crybaby if they're honest with him. So don't listen to the advice of people who are living lives you wouldn't want to live. What's actually interesting is, I always use this analogy. If you could build yourself from the ground up, if you could literally just, like from a video game, just tick characteristic boxes and build yourself, nobody would choose to be a small, weak guy who has to cry when he gets upset. Everyone, when they get that application form from God saying build yourself for your next life, would tick tall, strong, smart, mentally tough, doesn't cry, rich. They tick all the things they tell me I'm bad for, all the assets I have, everything that I am, they tell me is bad. But if they had the choice to have these things instantly, they would sign up. And the reason they don't have these things is because all of these things come from hard work. To be physically strong, you have to work out. That's difficult. To be financially independent, you have to be smart. That's difficult. So they don't have these things because they're hard for them to acquire, but they're very easy for them to acquire. They have them all. Nobody wants to be a crybaby. The mark of being a real man is not being a crybaby. I'm convinced that men must conquer to be happy. When I look at men who are unhappy or men who are depressed, a lot of them are living lives without conquest. They're living lives that are stagnant. A lot of them are living comfortable lives. They're not living lives that involve conquest is the word I use. Conquest is the word because men are not designed to be comfortable. Men don't want to be comfortable. They want to achieve. They need to feel pain and suffering to conquer something. The natural order of men to conquer. They say this is a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. It's the natural order of men to conquer. It's what drives men to achieve. So men back then conquered. Now men conquer in different ways. They conquer financially. They work hard in the office, or they build a business, become rich. They don't want to be rich to be rich. They want to be rich because they want to conquer something. Why does Elon Musk want to put rockets in space? Because he has an ego and he wants to conquer space. This conquering drive is what's driven men since the dawn of time. It's not a bad thing. It shouldn't disappear. But for a man to be truly happy, he has to conquer. When I used to fight, people said to me, why do you fight? I don't know, I just need to win. I need to win. I need to do something hard. I need to train so I can't walk. I need to destroy my opponent and be victorious. That's why I fight. And when now I've retired, people say, why do you retire? Because now I'm running multi-million-dollar businesses. I'm still conquering the world. I'm making more money per day than I used to make per month. I'm earning stupid sums of money. That's still conquest. And it's only conquest that keeps me happy. If I were to sell my businesses now, I'd have a lot of money. And I'd be comfortable. And I can go to the Maldives and sit in a hotel and be comfortable. Just sit there and be comfortable. But I would not be happy because there's no conquest left. There's no attack. There's no victory. there's no pain, there's no suffering. None of that exists. And this is the driving force of men. This is what makes men happy. The point is, men often say to me, a lot of guys mention this, Tate, your life's so good, you got a Lambo, you got a ton of big booty cuties, you're tall, 6'4", you're sexy as fuck, you're muscly, you're smart, you're a G. I'm like, yeah, I know. The point is, I say, how do I get like you? How do I be happy? Find something to conquer. Because without conquest, you live a comfortable life, you live a nice life, you live a happy life, even if you're living an exciting life, you'll still always be sad inside. You need to find a way to fight and to win. It's a simple way to say it. Doesn't matter whether it's financial, doesn't matter whether it's physical, doesn't matter what it is. You need to fight, you need to win, because it's conquest.